Mainstream Republicans and independents are absolutely disgusted by what the Republican Party has become. And they are leaving the Republican Party because the party has left them. They are no longer voting for the Republican Party. That's full MAGA and full Trump. I want to share with you some of the stories that we've received here at the MeidasTouch Network, and we've received thousands of people leaving the Republican Party. Share a story if this describes you or someone you know. Let's get right into it. Someone wrote to us, I voted for Biden in 2020. It was the first time I supported a Democrat for that office at the age of 62. Donald Hull writes to us, I'm a registered Republican and I'm so proud of seeing so many Republicans changing and voting blue. Save our country from this wannabe dictator, Donald Trump. Vote blue. I am registered Republican, voted for Trump in 2016. Worst mistake I made in my life. I will not leave the party, but I will vote blue for now. I am very conservative, but not a nutcase like MAGA. They are the rhinos, not us. I agree with that. Former lifelong Republican, now an independent. Very reluctantly voted for Trump in 2016, voted Libertarian in 2020, voting for Biden this year because I don't want to see the nightmare of Trump second term. That's from Mike B. Someone writes to us, been a Republican since I was 18 in 1986. I switched to Democrat 2 years ago. I will never vote Republican again. Trump and the GOP make me sick to my stomach. Sean McCarthy writes to us, I never really paid a whole lot of attention to politics until Trump got into office in 2017. His antics and blatant lies sickened me. Trump's constant tweets at all hours made me believe without a doubt he was extremely manic. I voted for Biden and he is the greatest president I've seen in my lifetime. Biden's occasional speaking gaffes make me like him more. He's real. Please, my American family, vote blue. It stands for sanity. Doug Vasquez writes to us, many of the quoted comments sound exactly like me. I voted Republican for longer than I should have. I did not vote for Trump the first time around, and I will not this time. As a matter of fact, I will never vote Republican again for as long as I live. I am 67 now, so hopefully I can live long enough to atone for my previous Republican transgressions. Go Joe. Next comment we get, my son used to support Trump and it took him 6 months to realize that Trump is a shameless liar and stop supporting Trump. LMAO. Thomas Jennings writes to us, I am 68 years old. I have always been independent. I have voted for both Republicans and Democrats over the years, but I have not voted Republican since the orange nightmare came down the escalator. My present plan is to consider voting for a Republican when I turn 168 years old or when pigs fly, whichever comes last. London 406 writes to us, I'm an independent who has been working my butt off in Pennsylvania. I make sure people know the truth wherever I go, always sharing the MeidasTouch network with people. This network plays a huge part in getting the facts out. When I am in discussions with people, I come right to the MeidasTouch network and show them exactly what Donald Trump says or does. It always makes a difference. Because of this network, 3 of my coworkers are now voting blue. Thanks, MeidasTouch. Sidebar, Charlie Kirk racist behavior made it 4 coworkers who will be voting blue in 2024. And the thing about Charlie Kirk is that the MAGA Republican leadership goes on his show and they support the heinous things he says, like African Americans shouldn't be pilots and women shouldn't be pilots, among other despicable comments. Omega 782 writes, I never cared too much about politics until Trump. I usually just voted Republican because my family was. Trump motivated me to vote against all Republicans. Joyce Brewer, 4150, writes, I was a never Hillary voter. Now I am a never again Trump voter or any of his supporters. Thomas Silvar writes to us, I'm 71 and voted for Trump. My bad. Because he said he would drain the swamp. Didn't think he would pollute it worse. Voting blue for democracy. And by the way, President Biden's trip to the border, along with Donald Trump's trip to the border, I think highlights this contrast as well. Take a look at what President Biden said first about, and he says, look, Donald Trump, let's figure out a way to address this border situation. Let's try to work to solve the problem for the people of Texas and for the people of this country. We proposed a bipartisan border deal, Donald Trump, and you told the MAGA Republicans to kill the deal because you wanted chaos at the border so you can use that as a campaign issue because you want to inflict pain on the American people. Watch what President Biden says. Play the clip.
Let me end with this. I understand my predecessor is an eagle past today. So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together. You know and I know it's the toughest, most efficient, most effective border security bill this country has ever seen. So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done? Let's remember who the heck we work for. We work for the American people, not the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. We work for the American people.
And then you compare what President Biden says to, this is what Donald Trump was talking about when he was at the border on the same day. Play this clip.
And we weren't promising free education, free medical, free everything. I mean, all the promises that are made, no wonder they come. I mean, you look at what this governor Newsome from California, isn't that his name, Newsome? What he's done to California is unbelievable. People are poor.
You know, it's just the endless name calling him Newsome. I mean, grow up. Grow up. I mean, it's just such pathetic behavior to see a whiny, petulant, no offense to third graders, because he's like a wannabe fascist third grade bully. What in the world is that behavior? You're supposed to, you think that's how a grown man acts or a grown person acts? It's so despicable. Here's what Nikki Haley has to say about what Donald Trump's doing to the Republican Party. He's shrinking it. Play the...
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. If there's a president of the United States, your job is to bring people into the fold, not push people away. And what we've seen is the people in the Republican Party, it's shrinking because he's pushing people out of the party. That's why we have so many independents now. They feel like the Republican Party doesn't represent them. That's why we're not getting suburban women. That's why we're not getting a lot of the people that we used to have.
And so I showed you President Biden, what he had to say at the border. Let me show you this is Tom Suozzi. Tom Suozzi won New York's 3rd congressional district. He beat the MAGA candidate. In his first speech on the House floor, what is he talking about? He's talking about, let's work together. Let's find solutions. Here, play this clip.
Bipartisan Senate bill doesn't have everything I wanted. I believe that Dreamers and TPS recipients should be granted a pathway to citizenship. And millions of others should have a path to legalization. But I will support a bipartisan compromise because to not do so will keep the border open, will endanger peace in Israel, and will empower Vladimir Putin. I know compromise is hard in this town, Mr. Speaker, but bring a bipartisan compromise to the floor and I guarantee it will pass.
And as you have Democrats talking about being solution-oriented like that, you've got Donald Trump saying things like this. Play the clip.
And in this deal, which we, by the way, killed. I think we killed it. I think it's dead. But you can never say...
Well, there you have it, folks. Share your story below. If it's you who no longer votes Republican because it's become full MAGA, or a family member, a neighbor, or coworker, put it in the comments below. I would love to hear it. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together and have a wonderful day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.